Okay, the meeting shall come to order for the special meeting in regard to the request for consideration for Art Fawcett concerning the renting of the North Shore Marina for the public parties 2022. Okay, I think everybody got the document from Art. Art, thank you for dropping it off yesterday. I didn't get it till later, but so I hope everybody got it and had a chance to look at it. Commissioners, have you had a chance to go through it or anything, and then we'll let Art speak.
Well, I'm going through it now, but
Okay.
I have already taken one look at it.
Sure.
Yeah, and I apologize, is for some reason the scanner and the copier at the office don't seem to want to work. I'm not sure why. So that caused a little delay here.
All right.
Because it's Monday.
It's Monday, Labor Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why nothing's working, right?
Yeah.
I'll finish scanning this document in after the meeting, Larry, and send it to you here shortly after, as far as you have it on digital.
Okay, Dee took pictures of all the pages and emailed them to me, so I've at least got something to look at.
Work.
Oh, I just did something. I just,
Well, we can still hear you.
I can't see you guys.
Can you hear us, Art?
I can hear you. I just can't see you.
Okay,
Willie changed something. I apologize. Again, I'm not tech savvy.
that's all right. So I believe that just having a voice is going to work for us. Do you agree?
So John, have you had a chance to look at them yet, or are you still working on it?
Oh, no, I've read through it.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
let's go ahead and get started. Art, do you want to go ahead and give your, do you want us to just ask you questions? Do you want us to, do you want to give a?
Sure,
your
sure.
thoughts on it first?
Everything in the contract, unless it's a formality that it has to be read, all of my proposals are in front of you. And if there's anything that I can explain that you don't understand, I would be more than happy to try and figure it out.
Well, first of all, there's a couple things I would like to address, if that's okay with everybody else, unless you
ma'am.
want to go first.
Nope, go ahead, man.
The contract, we've addressed that before.
Yes.
So Larry, that's the same contract. Is that correct, Larry?
Yes.
Okay, insurance is the same. We are listed as a beneficiary. Banquet license, that's usually every year. That's, you have to go get that.
It's actually every event.
Yeah,
And we don't really need the banquet license. Once again, to me, this isn't about making money, and everything is a donation. So if someone came up and asked for a burger and a dog and they didn't have any money or a soda or something, it's all about handing it to them. Again, this isn't about making money for me. This is about bringing our community together.
okay. Number 4, here's something that I might, and this is only my personal thought on it. Hours of operation 1 to 7, have certainly no problem with that. That's reasonable. But 4 Saturdays in August, I think that every weekend in August might be kind of a sticky point, maybe, I think. but I'd like the other commissioners to weigh in on that one.
Yeah.
The rest of it all looked pretty good.
Um,
I have a
On
question. When
Yes,
you
sir.
get, I'm sorry, Judy, I thought you were done.
Oh, I have a couple more things.
Okay,
And on page 3, you wanted to try and keep 2 slips open for visitors. Thanks for doing that, but I'd like to see that you actually do keep 2 slips open for
I
visitors.
knew, I knew the try would be a word that we would question. And we will do that. And if 2 visitors come in and they take up those 2 slots and the third person shows up and they can't use it, then there may be a complaint. And I will keep 2 slips open as, you know, it is a public dock. That's my.
Yes, that's true.
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
Okay, and I think that was,
No.
oh, that was only my concerns about it. I do appreciate you going to all the neighbors. I think that
Let me
took
see.
a lot of diligence, and I really appreciate the respect that you're giving the port. I think that was really commendable, Art. Thank you for that.
No, thank you, Judy. And
So-
again, last year was different. This whole thing just was kind of a quick brainchild. And sometimes I'm the kind of guy that just, well, goes ahead and does things. And then we figured out later on that maybe permission should have been asked from everyone.
Okay, John, you had some questions?
yes, thanks, Commissioner. Hi, Art, John Sheridan, District 3 Commissioner.
Hi,
Um,
John. Nice to actually meet you.
Yeah, I did see your on the last meeting, so I've got a visual on you. That being said, my concern is I'm not like a better venue for, because boaters and alcohol just don't mix well. We know this, right? Is that why not in Allyn, which has some distance, if you will, from the highway for one, and certainly distance from the water. Instead of being right on top of that dock out there, have you considered using the gazebo and doing it in?
Yes, but my whole thing is trying to bring people to the Hood Canal, and the Port of Allyn and the gazebo is not Belfair nor the Hood Canal. And yeah, I know that you have been out there. It's just a beautiful place and space. Multiple visuals from the road. The homes that are there can enjoy it. It's not your guys' typical spot to come to, and quite frankly, no one really cared about it until last year. People showed up there. I've been bringing my boat into that spot for 17 years.
I hear you. The other concern I have is that was already asked of you, is the issue I has four times in it. That's every Saturday. So there's more to that part than just bringing people together in that spot. You know, that would take up an entire month of weekends. And so my concern is why not one time during the summer then on the North Shore? Okay?
Well, it's been my experience that just one time isn't enough. People go, when are we going to have the next one? And
Right.
I tell them a year. I mean, I would be happy with whatever you guys would give us. There was one or two of the neighbors that did say the same thing, and then they thought about it and they went, you know, it's not too bad. Whatever you guys feel comfortable with, I am happy with. Let me say that.
Okay, thank you, Art. Well, the other consideration I have is the capacity for people on that dock. And okay, that being said, and then because I don't have I'm a new commissioner, so I don't know how it was done last year. I've asked some questions and I've gotten some good answers, but I still don't have a visual on where the band's gonna be set up. And, you know, I realize you're gonna have a couple slips down there and there'll be a lot of people down on that dock itself. Is that correct?
Last year we had maybe 30 people actually on the dock. It's a U-shaped dock, and our boat sits at the very end. And what we do is put the band on that boat, so that leaves the dock open. Again, Zach has made a proposal with me to get the floating dock that's out there. I really don't want to go that route. Because I think the boat is just a much safer place with the rails to have musicians playing on.
Okay,
But we keep the dock open, and most people, they use the end of it, few dance, most set up their chairs and social distance. I know that it actually looks a little crowded, but it's really not. The two shows that we had this year already, there were only 25 people that showed up.
I see.
Last year,
How would you
last year-
average? I'm sorry, go ahead, Art.
and I apologize, last year because of COVID, there was definitely a lot more folks out there.
Okay. How would you advertise this? I mean, what to bring attention?
We usually don't advertise at all. Everything I ever do is word of mouth. I found that
Okay.
again, I'm not tech savvy, so I don't put any of our stuff on the internet. It's all just word of mouth.
Well, that's what I wanted to hear because there's an old saying, be careful what you ask for, right? So,
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. I know that saying.
okay. All right. Well, those are, unless I think of something else, those are the questions, Commissioner Scott, that I had for him right now.
Hey, Ted?
All right. I don't have any questions. Are we planning this? I mean, this meeting's for next year, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We've already passed Labor Day. Labor Day would have been our last show. And that was the one thing that people asked when I was out getting the petition signed is, are you going to have a show today? And I said, no, it was already too late.
And then I do have concerns about the neighbors hiring an attorney to block this. So I'd still like to talk. We got time to talk to additional people. I'd like to know why they're not signing the petition. Last year, I wasn't aware that we were having an event. And then when I got back in town, I just received a bunch of calls complaining. So
The one person that did oppose it last Thursday was Eric. I never got his last name. He was the last person I spoke to on Saturday. In fact, I was with him at 1:30 and we were chatting. And at first it was, he was very opposed to it. And then after I listened to his concerns, which were the noise, the loudness, we came to an agreement. And when it was all said and done, he said, I won't oppose it, but I'm not going to endorse it. So everyone that was opposed to it is essentially just not going to oppose it at this point. They're not going to endorse it. And we did, there were 45 homes in that cove. I got 37 signatures from 37 different homes. All supportive of what we did last year.
I didn't have on the agenda any public comment, but I see that there's a few people on board here. Commissioners, would you object to have any public comment if there is any?
Absolutely not. I'd encourage some comment.
I agree.
I see most everybody, like, there's a few that are muted, so if you would unmute yourself and if you have comments, yay or nay, please weigh in.
Yeah, I think I'm in full support of this. I think it brings people down there. The times that I went, it was completely peaceful. There was no issues at all. It was just a real relaxed joy time, and everybody was really happy. Nobody was overly intoxicated. Nobody was being rude. There was no theft. I mean, it was just a joy to see, and with the pandemic and everything going on, it just, just sort of bolstered people's spirits. So I personally am in full support of it.
Thank you. May I call you Bill?
It's
Will?
Willie.
William?
Willie.
Thank you, William. Next.
Stephanie,
Thank you, Stephanie.
everybody's respectful. That's the name of the game. That's everybody's respectful. So if somebody has a problem, we would stop. So I think that's the key point, that we respect people's property, vicinity. So we're respectful people, all of us.
Thank you. I see Bill Harvey.
Yeah, hi, this is Bill Harvey. Sorry about the video. I don't know how to operate this phone very well. Anyway, I'd like to also put in, I am the co-owner of the Sea Bear down there that hosted this stuff last year. And I'd also like to say that we have done a lot of, especially myself, talking to Larry, have done a lot of cleanup and fixing of the dock material down there and trying to get a fence put up around the entrance to the dock. I think that when we get them people down there with the safety stuff that we're working on, I think that's a heck of an improvement from the first day I walked on that dock about a year and a month ago.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Bill. Any comments in regard to that, Art, before we make any decisions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. It is a special meeting. We can go ahead and decide on this, I think. Do I hear a motion to, I would like to make one amendment, Art.
Yes,
And that
ma'am.
is, instead of 4, I wouldn't mind having one on Labor Day. I think that'd be great, but maybe at the beginning of August or something, but have some time in between them. And mostly
Okay.
just because it's kind of a heavy use, of that dock anyway. So I would like to see maybe 2 rather than 4.
Judy,
Not
two
to
would
throw
be,
any. Anyway, go
no,
ahead.
ma'am. No, ma'am. 2 would be fine.
I actually would like to take that amendment that you just mentioned and make it conditional, where if you do one in the beginning of August, and it's conditional for us to determine whether or not it went well for a second one. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Yes, again, I'm going to agree with anything that you have to say. I would just like the chance to make this happen.
Right.
And see
That
how
was-
it goes.
That was my comment, Commissioner Scott, as far as that amendment that you mentioned. Before we
Okay.
move. Okay.
One
Yeah.
other thing too, that I would like to add, I think in the interest of due diligence for the port, that 2 weeks before the event, that maybe a review of the plans, your contract, security, et cetera, should be conducted or will be conducted. Does that sound acceptable as well to?
Yes. Do you
Buddy?
want us to run a test run, or how would that work? Just sit and go over everything one more time so that everybody's on the same page?
I think that would be wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since we are, potentially officially okaying this, we want to make sure that every T is crossed and I is dotted. That is, if the rest of the commissioners, what they feel about it too.
Yes,
Well,
ma'am.
because we have so much lead time, Commissioner Scott, that's a good idea. So in the beginning of July, we would look at it one more time for the August. So whatever happens in August, I mean, we're not making a motion yet, but if we get there, I'd like to see a month lead on that, not 2 weeks, in case there's some things that need to be adjusted or that we're concerned about that come up.
Yes, sir. That would be fine. All I needed is, and I probably won't even need that. I'll be so excited as a reminder.
So what I'm proposing, and I'll make a motion, is I don't see the need right now to rush this and approve it for next year. I would like to give more residents in the surrounding the boat launch times to respond or time to comment. I'm still concerned about the letter we received from that attorney. I say we put this off to the October meeting.
Okay.
Give me time to talk to some of the residents that called and complained and see what their feelings are. Because the last thing I want to do is for the port to run into a situation where last year we were just getting inundated by calls, complaints. So,
I totally respect that. Yeah, I get it. That's a good idea.
and we can put this on the agenda for next.
Commissioner Jackson, I don't have, I was not aware of an attorney. So thank you for bringing that up for the
All
second
of
time.
you, the letter from the attorney.
Okay, I gotta find it. Okay,
So again, I won't know until October.
Well, I
Whether we're
guess if
going to do
it wants
this
to
or
table, I guess if it wants to be tabled, it kind of depends on what you want to do, John. Do you want to table it until October?
I actually do want to table it, and I'm not gonna apologize, Art, for that, but at the same time, I've got to.
Then I guess my,
I need
my,
another month.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I guess my question to that would be, why was it important to have the meeting today and me to rush through and get everything for everyone if I had until October or so to get all the paperwork and everything squared away? I
Give
was
you
really,
to give you something to have this discussion. I mean,
okay.
we were, you know, you were looking at, I mean, it's the end of the summer. It's not happening this year. I get that, but you wanted it to happen this year, and it's not, obviously.
Well, at this point, I knew it wasn't going to happen until
Right.
next year, but I was kind
Okay.
of, and I apologize for my, I don't even know what to say at this point.
I
Again,
think I can only speak for myself, but I think we were looking at making sure you knew that we weren't putting you off. I think
And-
that's an
and
important
that's-
part of it.
that is definitely what I felt. Let me say that. I felt
Well,
that I was put
I-
off and rushed.
That kind of, well, not.
Well, to be honest, Art, I didn't know anything about this until it was brought up at the Thursday meeting. So I feel like as a commissioner, I was rushed to make a decision to accommodate you, but we had all year to plan it. And that was the first time I heard that we were gonna, or you were planning another event
We
at the
had-
Allyn dock. So,
I assumed at the beginning of the year, since I had provided everything for the port last year, that it was all in an okay state, but then
Yeah.
after the first two, I was actually told if I put on one more show that my year-round mortgage that I worked so hard to get would be taken away from me. That was the whole thing. That was an important issue for me. I am trying to start a little service down there. And I was actually just rushed. And again, as I said, when I first met you guys on Thursday, I run multiple businesses here. And I had jobs that I could have done on Saturday when this could have all been put off for time if that was going to be the case.
Okay.
I just can't help but show my disappointment that I'm just some sort of an answer. And I apologize for that.
Well, I share Commissioner Jackson's same input. In other words, that was the first I heard about it too. So, and again, I felt like, yeah, we needed to have this special meeting when it was proposed to have it regarding this matter with you in order to not put you off because it was coming. So I think we're all figuring this out right now as far as what we think we should do to make a right and good decision. I didn't even know about the attorney. So that being said, it's only right for me to find out what that's about before I even make a motion one way or the other. Right. And I think you kind of understand where I was coming from.
I do understand. The attorney thing was brought up at Thursday's meeting.
Yeah.
That was part of the email that Larry said that he sent me. Also,
Okay.
also the part of the email that he sent me telling me that I had to have the information to you by noon on Saturday when I was not aware of that. I thought that having everything that you guys had your stipulations and we were going to go over it on at the meeting on Saturday.
Oh,
Again, I'm not savvy to protocol that, you know, I'm just a guy trying to do something good for our community.
well, I'm really sorry, Art. I
That's
guess
okay.
I can say welcome to government.
That's why I've avoided the political arena during the 25 years in business, and I'm starting to learn a little bit about it.
And the problem is that we do have to be accountable to so many other entities and people, and that's why the delay. So, you know,
I know,
think
and
as chair, I'm sorry, but I do-
that's why I thought that the signatures were going to be what was the deciding factor, but they are
well,
not.
this isn't effort gone awry though. This is
No.
an effort that's not going to be used. So even though it was rushed and a hassle, Art, it's
Yeah,
going to be well used. We have good information. So thank you for that. And I appreciate the fact that you did respect us enough to make the effort to continue on. And again, you know, the heart for the community. I appreciate what you said in it. You were tired of the violence, the division. It's nice to get together. So personally, that's where I'm at.
I know that you appreciate live music as much as I do, Judy.
Yep. So I guess since we're going to table that, then there really is nothing else to discuss except commissioners, I think looking at the information that Art gave us, if you get a chance to talk to some of the people. One of the things too, again, I just recap what my suggestions would be, if you guys want to talk about that more, having a couple of events. And then going over the plans again, and once we make a decision and give them the okay, or not, then in October, then we can, visit with that in July or June, so that we're all on the same page. I just think that's fair. Anything else?
No.
Commissioners, anything else?
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm glad we're gonna table it, for one more month so that we can give people more of an opportunity to share their concerns in the community regarding this. But, I mean, I really thank you, Art, for the signatures. That's a very important part of this. So to have that already, in addition to what we'll discuss the next time around, is more information. And, we want to make a good choice, for the community, for you. And we are a port that likes to bring people together. We just want to, be careful about doing it right and safe. That's the bottom line.
I know, but I mean, a list of stipulations were given to me and I'm still being pushed until October. I covered everything that was put before me.
Mhm.
People worked hard to put this thing together, and I just can't help but feel I'm being stonewalled. And then in October, we'll say, well, we'll put it off again. And then come July, we'll say, well, never mind. And then we'll set something for the end of August, which will be too late again. And I'm sorry, but I can't help but feel disappointed right now.
Well, yeah, we'll make a decision in October.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, then we'll stick to that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Art,
No,
I'm
no.
sorry.
Nope. There's
Okay.
people that are on this Zoom meeting right now, that never ever had any need to be on a Zoom meeting trying to show support. And in October, I can tell you that there are going to be a whole lot more people on this meeting.
That's good.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Thank you, sirs. Thank you, ma'am. I
Thank you.
appreciate your time, and I will see you in October.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, meeting adjourned.
Yeah.
Yes.